USDA NIFA and Larta Institute welcomes you to the Department of Education Ed Games Expo 2021. Thank you for joining us today. This session will focus on addressing the education equity gap for underserved and rural communities.
Hi, I'm Lindsay Trofe, founder and CEO of Immersed Games. We have a team based out of Buffalo, New York, and we build middle school science games. I'll tell you about in a little bit. Diversity and equity are extremely important to our team, and actually we serve 10% more BIPOC students than the national average, working especially in the area around us in Buffalo and in Washington, where we have more adoption in those areas. And we also, with equity being so important, have done a lot of work to ensure that our product works on Chromebooks, in the web browser, and are always working on making it work on lower and less reliable internet as well. But now let me tell you what I actually do and why that's really cool that we pulled that off. So our product, Tyto Online, empowers students to actually do science in a hands-on way. We use a video game to set that up. So let me show you how that works. First, we engage students. They, of course, love setting up their character that represents them in the game and going in to do various quests and activities. And we see that this engagement works, with 19% of students choosing to play extra content beyond what their teacher has assigned to them. And then we inspire with authentic problem solving. So for example, to learn about genetics, a councilwoman tells them there's going to be a food shortage. So they go work with a botanist, they look at cultivars, they learn about Punnett squares, and they run experiments on water levels and light levels in order to bring back to the councilwoman and say, basically what we should fund in order to help that out. And another example, we also set up real science phenomena. Rather than say just watching videos, they get to go experience it. So for example, and this is a real thing, they get to explore the zombie ants in the Amazon rainforest by going there. They explore the ant colony, collect data, and figure out what's going on after they see this ant die and fungus explode from its head. As one of our teachers said, we help create what real science is like by providing this direct experience versus relying on passive watching of videos or reading about it. We've been very lucky to be supported by both the National Science Foundation and the Department of Education with SBIR Phase 1s and a Phase 2 with the NSF. And we've seen through pilots that we've run with that we've had great pre-post success. What we love the most is with the NSF, we saw a 12% increase in science and engineering skills and practices, like their ability to analyze data and ask good questions. And this is for us what's so cool about what we've built and about what game-based learning can do. It's not just about content, but about that skill development, since you're able to go and do science, but in a video game. Which actually leads us to our last point. We, of course, support a lot of underrepresented students, but we also use a lot of strategies. Representation is important, and it's what generally gets discussed the most. And we do find it important to bust stereotypes about STEM and who participates in STEM. But beyond just who, it's also what it's like. The research shows that people tend to think that STEM careers are weird and they're people in lab coats by themselves. So we show that they're collaborative by having you go solve it in an online multiplayer game. We show the social impact of STEM. You're not just learning about pea plants for genetics, you're actually solving a food shortage by figuring out how to grow more crop. And these strategies are critical to helping students actually engage in STEM, and especially underrepresented students, to keep caring about it beyond middle school, which is where we focus on. Even further, what we've been doing lately is working in some anti-racist science content. Research shows that if you say, as part of teaching about genetics, introduce the idea that the fact that Black people in the US are more likely to have sickle cell anemia, that can accidentally reinforce racist misconceptions. And so what we've been doing is being very intentional about this as well. And we built a storyline recently about mutations that fits all the standards, but breaks that down and shows why people might have more likely chance to have a certain disease from different racial backgrounds, and that it also happens to white people and all sorts of different genetic backgrounds as well. So this has been really exciting for our team to spend more time not only supporting underrepresented students of all types, but making sure that we're adding in this content that's really giving us a strong background that we can support diversity and equity in many ways.